at the same time, and I presented to you a few schedules. The schedules are indicating this sequence of statements to be executed. Okay, there's some chronological order from between the transaction 1 and transaction 2. Similarly, we can have a number of transactions. But whatever it may be, the transactions are executing in parallel or in concurrent. But we identified if the transaction is executed serially, there may not be having any disturbances between one transaction with other transaction. If the transaction is simultaneously reading a value, if the transactions, 2 or more number of transactions simultaneously reading a value, each transaction may modify the same data element, maybe either A or B. We are not in a position to say which transaction modified that variable. If the transaction executed serially one after one, definitely we can say who did this modification. Okay. So even though the transactions are executing concurrently, that means in parallel, we expect the transactions are as executing in the serial. We expect the transactions are executed in serial so that there will not be any confusion between the modification of the variables. Okay. But the thing is, to improve the efficiency of the processor, we want to allow not only the improve the efficiency of the processor, but also to reduce response time. That means each and every user feels their operation is started immediately. Okay, we are allowing all operations execution at the same time. Okay, right. So in order to carry our transactions without any problem, we are implementing a basic assumption called as serializability. Okay, so in the serializability, what is our main motto? Even though a number of transactions are executing at the same time, we don't want any disturbances between one transaction with other transaction on the data elements. Okay, so we want finally the same result. We want finally the same result if the transaction is executed alone. Transaction ఒక్క ట్రాన్సాక్షన్ ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ అయితే ఏ రిజల్ట్ అయితే వస్తుందో ప్యారలల్ గా ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ చేసినా మనకు అదే రిజల్ట్ కావాలి. ఓకే, then only we can say the database is having consistency. Okay, so the basic assumption, whether you are using the concurrent transactions or you are coming to the serializability, the basic transaction is we need to preserve database consistency as the transaction alone is executing. Okay, so when you are getting the such a database consistency when the transactions are executed serially. So thus a serial execution of a set of transactions always preserves database consistency. Okay, but when you are executing transactions concurrently, more number of transactions at the same time, we identified a schedule. Okay, and we are assuming the schedule to be serializable. And a schedule lo conflict the concurrent transactions unna, we want an effect of serial execution. Concurrent ga execute avutunna మనకు సీరియల్ గా ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ అవుతున్న ఎఫెక్ట్ కావాలి. సేమ్ టైం ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ అవుతున్నా ఒకదాని తర్వాత ఒకటి ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ అవుతున్న ఎఫెక్ట్ కావాలి. క్లియర్? ఒకదాని తర్వాత ఎందుకంటే ఒకదాని తర్వాత ఒకటి ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ అయితే దేర్ ఈస్ నో ప్రాబ్లం. బట్ వీఆర్ ఎగ్జిక్యూటింగ్ కాంకరెంట్లీ. ద కరెంట్ ఎగ్జిక్యూషన్స్ ఆర్ హ్యావింగ్ ద షెడ్యూల్. దేని తర్వాత ఏది ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ అవ్వాలి అని ఆ షెడ్యూల్ ఎలా ఉండాలి అంటే మనకి సీరియల్ ఆర్డర్లో ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ అవుతున్న ఎఫెక్ట్ కావాలి. Okay, practical ga execute same time execute avutunna, theoretically ga we are expecting serial execution schedule. What is the serial execution? This schedule number 2 is serial execution, one after one. Schedule 1 is serial execution, one after one. Okay, but schedule 3 and schedule 4 are concurrent executions. This schedule 1 and schedule 2 are perfect, no disturbance between one with other. But when 3 and 4, there may be some disturbances. We want to avoid. Okay, right. So does serial execution of transactions always preserving the database consistency? We want a schedule is serializable schedule, or we can say a schedule is serializable if it is equivalent to a serial schedule. If it is equivalent to a serial schedule. అంటే షెడ్యూల్ 3 షెడ్యూల్ 4 లో మనం ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ అవుతున్నా ప్రాక్టికల్ ఎగ్జిక్యూషన్ లో ఇవి కనుక షెడ్యూల్ 1 షెడ్యూల్ 2 కి ఈక్వలెంట్ అని మనం నిరూపించగలిగితే, ఓకే, షెడ్యూల్ 3 షెడ్యూల్ 4 ఆల్సో we can say serializable. Schedule 3 and schedule 4 also serializable. Okay, right. We need to obtain such serializable schedules. So a schedule is serializable if it is equivalent to a serial schedule. Okay, so but we'll see those such schedules we obtain. We are having different forms of schedules equivalent to the serial schedules. The two different forms are conflict serializability and view serializability. Okay, we'll see what is the meaning of conflict serializability and view serializability. Be careful, these two terms are very important for us. Okay, right. So if you are identifying the transactions, the schedules, whatever is given from 1 to 4, we are also identifying some assumptions. Okay, what are the assumption means? Even though you are having the operations, say for example, a is equal to a minus 50, that is happened in the RAM, that is the hard disk or the database. So that what you are identifying is, when you are identifying the simplification of the transactions, our main problem is operations modifications, permanent modifications in the hard disk. So we ignore operations. Now onwards in the serializability, whatever the demonstrations, we are ignoring operations other than read and write instructions. Let we mention only read and write instructions. Okay, we also assume the transaction may perform arbitrary computations on data in the local buffers in between read and writes, in between read and write operations. Even though if the transactions are doing some modifications or computations, okay, that they do in the local buffers, not in the hard disk. Okay, so that it may not give any problem to us. Okay, so our simplified schedule consists of only read and write instructions only. Okay, right. Now the thing is, when you are having the two transactions, like in the T1 to the schedule 1 to schedule 4, schedule 1 to schedule 4, we are identifying two transactions T1 and T2. Possibly both are reading the same data element A, possibly writing the same data element A also. Similarly, possibly reading the same data element B and possibly writing the same data element B. Okay, the read and write operations between A and B, the shared between transaction T1 and transaction T2. Now we'll say we need to obtain if the transactions, whatever the operations are, conflict with each other or not. Okay, if there is no conflict, we can execute in any order, whether a operation on data element say A, whether T1 is doing first or T2 is doing first, there is no problem if there is no conflict between these two operations. Okay, so now we'll concentrating on the conflict serializability. What is conflict serializability is saying us? Okay, whenever you are doing some operation on a data element either A or B by T1 or T2, if there is no conflict, whoever is do the particular operation, no problem. Whether T1 is doing first or T2 is doing first, no problem at all if there is no conflict. The only thing is now we need to identify whether is there conflict or not. If the conflict is there, then you must preserve the order, whether T1 first or T2 first. If there is no conflict, immaterial, T2 can first or T1 can first. Okay, right. So conflict is there, you need to maintain the order. If there is no conflict, you can maintain any order. Okay, okay. So let the instructions we are having L of I or L of J of the transactions, T of I, T of J respectively. Okay, T of I and T, the T is indicating your transactions, L is indicating your instruction. Okay, right. The conflict is, we can say, if you are having the two instructions and there is the two transactions, okay, the transactions may be same also. Okay, you are having the two transactions. If the conflict is there, okay, when you can say the conflict, if and only if there exists some item, when you can declare there is a conflict, if and only if there exists some item Q accessed by both instructions L of I and L of J. ఒకటే data item ni, okay, whether read instruction or write instruction, whatever it may be. If both instructions are executing same data item, okay, by the both of the transactions, okay, the both instructions from both transaction TA and TJ, okay, because TA is related to instruction LI, L of I is related to T of I. Instruction L of I is related to transaction T of I. Instruction L of J is related to transaction T of J. If both instructions are executing a common data item or same data item Q, and at least one of these instructions writing Q. At least one of the instruction writing Q. Okay, that means one instruction may be reading, one instruction may be writing, or both are writing. Okay, if any instruction is writing, there may be a conflict. Okay, so the thing is, first of all, we are having the four different combinations. If both instructions L of I and L of J reading the value of Q, reading a value is not at all a problem. Physically, there is no modification. Whoever want, they can read the value of a variable because the value is not going to be modified. You can read n number of times. For each and every read operation, you will get the same data. You will get the same data. So if both operations are read, there is no conflict at all. Then you can maintain in any other, whether T1 first or T2 first. But say for example, one is reading, another is writing. Say T1 is reading, the value, your value of Q is 100, but T2 is modifying the 100 Q value from 100 to 200. T1 is assuming Q value is 100 and it is doing all the remaining operations as 100. But T2 is already modified in between. The value is becoming 200 now. Finally, what we can say, the value of Q is either 100 or 200. From transaction T1 point of view, it is 100. From transaction T2 point of view, it is 200. Okay, so there is a conflict. There is a conflict. Okay, there is a consistency problem. Clear? the thing is, when you can say there is no consistency problem, whether T1 is reading or T2 is reading, for that, from the point of view of the T1, from point of view of T2, if the value is same, it is say consistent. But if somebody it is a different value, if somebody is other different value, okay, definitely it is not in the limit of our consistency. Okay, so there is a conflict. So there is a conflict between T1 and T2. Similarly, T1 is modifying the value from 100 to 200, but T2 is reading as 100 only. Once again, there is a conflict between T1 and T2. One say 100, others say 200. When both are writing without knowing, without notice of others, one is modified 100 to 200, other is modified 100 to 300. When it is reading the value, it is 100 only. But after reading the 100 value, it is modified as 300. Now, from T1 point of view, the value is modified to 200. But from T2 point of view, the value is modified to 300. Now, value is between 200 and lying between 200 and 300, which is correct. So, there is a conflict. Clear? So, basically, if there is no conflict, you can perform operation either T1 first or T2 first, there is no problem. If there is a conflict, you must maintain whatever the serializable order you created earlier. You must follow whatever the serializable order you created earlier. Okay? One can't execute before others' time. Okay? Right. So the conflict between the instructions L of I and L of J forces a temporal order between them, a logical order between them. Okay, you have to maintain that order. If the L of I and L of J are consecutive in the schedule and they do not conflict, their result would remain same even after it has been interchanged in the schedule. That is the meaning. If there is a conflict, definitely. If the last instruction is T2, from the first instruction 100 and 200, if the last instruction is 200, Q becomes 200. If the last instruction is T1, the Q value is going to be 100 only. Okay. So the final value is unpredictable. The final value is predictable. So when you can say the conflict, one of the instruction is right, then we can say conflict. If both instructions are read, no conflict. Read, read, no conflict. Read, write, conflict. Write, read, conflict. Write, write, conflict. Okay. We'll see. You just remind this particular thing, then we'll see those particular things. Okay. Right. So when come to the conflict serializability, if the schedule S can be transformed into schedule S bar. What is the schedule 1? So whatever the schedule 1 to 4 you previously identified, you are having the 4 schedules. You are having the 4 schedules. Let the schedule is S. Let the schedule S. You can modify the schedule S into a schedule S bar by a series of swappings. By a series of swappings. Okay. We'll see that what is the meaning of the series of swappings. We try to learn in the examination also, you may get. Okay. But you are transforming one schedule into other schedule. That means what is the thing here say identifying? You can convert one schedule into other schedule. You can convert a non-serializable schedule into a serializable schedule. Okay, clear. So when you are modified one schedule into a other schedule, but still you can say both schedules are same, okay, or equivalent. In particularly, both schedules are conflict equivalent, even though physically not as it is, but you can say the 2 schedules are conflict equivalent after transforming first schedule into the second schedule. Okay, how you can do the particular schedules is by a series of swappings. Okay, swapping means we are pushing down or pushing up a statement in one schedule. Clear? And schedule. Say for example, you are having, you removed this a is equal to a minus 50. Immediately read a by t1. Okay, after the read a by t1, we are having read a by t2. If both operations are read operations only, both are read operations only, we are assuming there is no problem, no conflict. Then what you can do, you can keep the read A operation first. Read A operation by T1 is second. Here what is happening? First it is executing read A of T1, then it is executing read A operation of T2. We can interchange. First we can execute read operation of T2, then you can execute read operation of T1. That is called as swapping. That is called as, this is pushing up, this is pushing down. Okay, right. That is the definition. First of all, we are seeing the definition. Okay, so you can say two schedules S1 and S bar are in a particular schedules. Okay, you can transform or we can convert by a series of swappings of non-conflicting instructions only. Series of swaps of non-conflicts operations only. Only you can do read transformations. But say for example, here we are having the two write operations. Even though both read operations are one read and one write operation, these two are conflicting each other. These read operations followed by write operation. Okay, even though side by side, simultaneously, okay, one after other, but the read and write operations are conflicting each other. Okay, if conflicting each other, we can't swap. When you can say the conflicting each other, both are dealing with the same data element. Both are dealing with the same data element, but here read is on B, write is on A. So no problem. When you can say conflict, the read and write, one read and one write on same data element, on same data element. But here we are having the two different items. No problem. Okay, right. So the conflicting, how you are performing swapping of non-conflicting instructions, we can say both S and S bar are conflict equivalent. Okay, right. So the thing is, we say that schedule S bar is, or schedule S is conflict serializable if it is conflict equivalent to a serial schedule. When you can say conflict serializable, a schedule S is conflict serializable, but it is above one is conflict equivalent between two schedules. In the same schedule, S or S bar, you can also identify whether it is conflict serializable or not. Even though the instructions are parallel, but logically the operations are one data element are executed in some serial order. Logically, if the operations are some variables either A or B executing in some serial order, we'll identify, we'll see those things. If the operations on a variable are in some serial order, after finishing all operations on a variable, if it is starting with the operations on other variable, then you can say, even though we are having a schedule between two transactions, you can say the transactions are executing in some serial order, so that you can declare the schedule as conflict serializable. You can say it is conflict serializable. Okay, so we'll see what is the proofs, what is the meaning of conflict equivalent, what is the meaning of conflict serializable. Okay, schedule లో రెండు కానీ అంతకన్నా ఎక్కువ కానీ ట్రాన్సాక్షన్స్ ఉన్నా కూడా వేరియబుల్స్ మీద ఆపరేషన్స్ ఒకదాని తర్వాత ఒకటి జరుగుతుంది అని మనం నిరూపించగలిగితే అది conflict serializable. If you are having the two schedules, okay, if non-conflict operations and swapping ద్వారా, if you can prove both are looking like same, you can say the both schedules are conflict equivalent. Both schedules are conflict equivalent. Okay, right. So if you are having the schedule 3, we'll take the schedule 3 whatever the given from the previous one. Okay, I given you 4 schedules: schedule 1, schedule 2, schedule 3, schedule 4. Clear? What the schedule 1 is giving us? 2 transactions are perfectly serial, one after one only. After finishing the last instruction only, we are started the first instruction of the next transaction. Perfect serializable, no need to worry, no need to. Okay. Second also, after finishing the T2, last instruction of T2, we are starting the T1. It is also perfect serializable. Now come to the schedule 3. We are executed some instructions, then we started T2, then we start once again coming back to the T1, then we are again coming back to T2. Okay, and here the thing is, we assumed we are eliminating our computation statements. We are keeping only read and write. Okay, right. So we'll see only one conflict one here, so that we'll wind up and we'll continue in the tomorrow. Now we need to identify whether schedule 3, can we create any other schedule? Okay, right. So schedule 6, both are conflict equivalent or not? Okay, schedule 3 can be transformed into schedule 3 by a serial schedule. Okay, like T2 or T1. Okay, where T2 follows T1 or T1 follows T2. Okay, by a series of swapping operations of non-conflicting operations or non-conflicting operations, right? Now the thing is, now look, identify. First instruction is read A, next instruction is write A, then next instruction is read A of T2. Can we swap these both? No, because data element is same, but here write and read operation, if the when comparing the two operations, if one operation is right, you can't swap, right? So you can't swap write A with read A, because one is write operation and both are working on same data element, right? Then what is the after read A, you are executing write A. Okay, after write A, you are having the read B. Okay, even though this is operations of one is read and the other is write, but both are working on different data items. So we can push down this write A and we can push up this read B. Write A will comes down, read B goes up. Okay, so in the time of write A, now you can execute read B. In the time of read B, you can execute write A. So read E is moving up. Then immediately after read A, we are having read B. Both reads always no conflict, and also is the different data items. Once again, no conflict. So read A can move to after write A. That is the read A reason. Read B is reached after write A. That is in the schedule 6. Read A reached after write A. Similarly, when come to when it is moving up, these two comes down. Write B can be compared with the write A. Even though two writes, one is on value A and the other is value B. No problem at all. So write also moving up. Then write B can be compared with read A. Even though one is read and other is write, but two different data items, write B also can be ahead of read A. That is the reason write B also gone above read A. So all the 4 operation of T1 is reaching at the top slot. All 4 operations of T2 are pushed down at the bottom slot. Okay. Now, the schedule 3 is logically equivalent to the schedule 6. The schedule 3 is logically equivalent to the schedule 6. Now you can say both schedules are conflict serializable. Both transactions are conflict serializable. Whether you executing the operations in this order or you are executing these operations in this order, both schedule 3 and schedule 6 are giving us same result. Same result. Hence, schedule 3 is conflict serializable with schedule 6. This is the meaning of swappings. This is the meaning of swappings when there is no conflict. When there is no conflict. Okay. So we'll continue this particular topic tomorrow. Okay. We try to finish tomorrow with this particular topics. Clear? Now you can give me your attendance. If you are having any doubts, you can ask also.